2-hour track. Hello. Nobody's here at the moment, but to those that watch afterwards, I just want to apologize. I'm having a bit of a technical difficulty. It's not displaying files properly, and then I can't find the recent section either. I don't want to mess it up with the other device, although I could try it on there, because a lot of times we do use it to fall asleep to. With kind of gets you in the mode, and then also it also keep that there for just a moment. I want to try something. I know it's not super stable, but it's good. It also helps with tinnitus. So I don't want to mess up that device being able to do that. I don't know if I know how to pair this one with the OneDrive, but I did open it behind here earlier. So just a moment, let me try that first. It displays, okay. Because we can always use the phone if we have to. As long as I don't screw up all the devices, it should be fine. Oh, the only thing. Okay. I'll consider that. Just a moment. Okay. I'm seeing this as it's happening here. It's a little less sunny in this room today. I think I will state, because, honesty can be good. I will state, as somebody just tunes in, welcome, that I am new to, whatever. But either way, for those that are still here, it's only 5 minutes in. That might be first-time viewers or just people that have come back. Perhaps some people that have been wanting to say something, but not feeling brave enough or whatever, for whatever reason. I don't think I'm intimidating, Mr. Guessman, but, for whatever reason. So, but basically, um, I think I will state that this is a good time to do so. That I am fairly new to uploading these type of meditations, or to uploading meditations. I mostly just do them, but I don't like upload. And there seems to be two different places where you can go to Edit Studio, or you can just go to another edit menu once it's already posted. So I did that with the previous one and was able to add an image. And then I saw the spot when I started this one, which it's probably always been there, to be honest, but I never noticed. And then I was also getting creative with the setting and that. But while I'm over here, I do just want to do this because I'm curious. And look at how nice this is, by the way. And no, it's not for sale. Thankfully, some grown easy, even with my thumb kind of up on it. Sometimes. That's the thing about these things, is they're finicky. Although there have been some, I'm sure that, although I couldn't tell which one that was the one I already had down here from the shelf that I said I have selected for myself, which of course is one, and the ones I brought from downstairs, upstairs. He'll be able to know that. But that's the thing, is sometimes they're easier to play than others. Like drill. They're all pretty easy to hit. Some bowls are easier, but also, and it's about privacy too. That's the other thing. But I can certainly bring it into the videos, and if you like it and like what you see, you're welcome to utilize the fact that it's monetized. There's a new setting that I don't even think you can get past, where you have to accept adverts, at least some in your videos. So now we do live around a noisy corner, but so this okay. So I did just play that, right? Yeah, I think so. So speaking of playing something, I'm going to try doing this in a way I'm not sure if I have done before, where I am going to play some music in another window in the viewer left, so whatever. I think this may have been one from upstairs. I think so. Don't know about the mallet, but I think so. You know what I'll do? Because that was also, that previous one was, especially since it was a little bit of a personal situation, but it was interesting. You know, like when people say, "Oh, you're not alone," you know, you're never alone in your struggle or whatever. And I often think, well, of course, other people struggle, perhaps with similar things, but you can feel like you're alone. Yeah, there, but you can feel like you're alone. However, and sometimes you kind of do, you kind of are. But I pretty powerfully reminded myself of something that I also kind of stated in the previous video. I think has been in my subconscious because of, you know, certain things videos that I watch, and maybe also things that I tell myself, or that I hear others sometimes. And mostly the first one, and lately a bit of the second one, I would say, though. But with this particular example, and how it can embed itself there. And then when you're trying to figure out a stress, sometimes it's like, with this example, it was like, it's because of that being in there in my mind that I maybe wasn't even fully aware of, but now I'm not surprised to realize. And that is why. And so realizing that amongst the other stuff that was said in the previous video, the Beyond Hope Success one, and somebody was there for like 2 minutes, but anyway, was here for 2 minutes. I think I had 4 or 5 years. Anyway, was very powerful. And the other thing I should state too is just because it doesn't look like some people are liking your videos, sometimes they're new. So the videos, there's a lot on YouTube, and it's totally understandable to want to like the same things as others and have them like the things we like and this and that. But at the end of the day, we don't have to. We can like whatever we choose to like and not necessarily, base it on what other people are liking or not liking on the internet, for the most part, I would say. So I want to go get comfy over here. And then maybe try and do one more meditation, which will bring us to lunch. And I understand that I'm not hopping right into it, but sorry. You know what I mean? Like I say, I'm pretty new at this. I'm doing the best I can. That's something else I had also, as far as like the meditation videos and that. And that's actually something else that I kind of thought in mentioning the one that I previously did, which I believe was my first. I actually think it was better than this one, but this one really hasn't begun yet. But like the initial stuff, because there was a technical issue and just whatever. So I did kind of feel that, and perhaps you might agree, but let's rebound that now, and what is this? And try and do another one that I think is fairly generic, but very relatable. Now, it didn't want to bring up the file on. Oh, right, I was going to try it there. I feel like the bowls just aren't enough for the background, and it's also kind of hard to talk and play them at the same time. And also, your mind thinks you shouldn't, or at least that's what I kind of feel. So, right, I was going to test it on here. That's not the tab I want, and it's reloading and being wonky donkey. This is the tab I want, but it went out of it. Okay. Actually, the fact that it did that, believe it or not, this uses a marimba and bowls and possibly piano. I don't know what that's about, but anyway. Let's do a sound check. Slight feeling that it distorts it and played out of the same thing. Recording, so it can go to the woods. But maybe this type of file would. That's a nice stuff. Just need a clock. Actually, now it doesn't indicate it. Just doing a sound check if that isn't indicated. So we got 2 people tuned in. Unfortunately, this would be a meditation that does not have a backing track because it's being wonky on one device and it is distorting the sound. Not terribly, but it's just muffled, is what I noticed anyway. If you notice otherwise, let me know, because I did have it playing for a minute or two, but I felt that it was okay. That must not be because it wasn't. It must not be me that's watching because it still says it. So welcome. I've done some stuff with the bowls. Let me know if you want me to bring a singing bowl into this at any point in time. Although I think I'm going to get the one from the stair and the good mallet. I had the other mallet, or maybe I didn't. And at the moment, let me just quickly check. Yeah, it's all on the couch somewhere. Okay. But as I was saying, it feels kind of awkward to play into the viewer rights, whatever. But anyway, okay. Oh, there's a sharp something on the spring sticking out of the couch a bit. And I think, I don't know, I kind of want, well, I do and don't mind if I'm being kind of watched in a relaxed state, but I don't know, people coming to something like this, it's true, they might prefer, it's all learning, folks, it's all learning. Hopefully you're noticing that. They might prefer not to have to see distracting stuff, especially someone that they're not familiar, at least somewhat familiar with, and may never have seen before. And it's like, you know, or no, when you touch your face in a distracting way and somebody's noticing it, and I don't know. People, we can all have sensitivities, but also, and I was kind of doing it as I was speaking, as if touching my face wasn't an obvious enough statement. But, but I don't know. I'm curious. Would people, if I was to lead a meditation and it looked like this? I mean, you can certainly close your eyes, but like this was on the screen. Would you mind, or do you think you'd still be able to? I don't want to be distracted by the viewership, especially if people are playing head games, or seeming like they are. But I feel like I want to do this for myself. There's lots of pair of headphones here. At least I can hear the music, and that'll put me in a mode, and this might be a really long video if I pass out. But but of course, the obvious, don't listen while you're operating machinery, blah, 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 or driving. Seriously, my dad passed away, not necessarily listening to a meditation, but falling asleep at the wheel because he was too overworked. Jenny's wasn't her fault, but the other driver, it was a big truck, but it could have been his fault. I don't know. Anyway, point of the matter is that best to do this when you can actually relax. And I've been awake for a little while now, so hopefully I would, maybe I should have some coffee to be sipping on every now and then, and it'll keep me a little bit stimulated. I might have to make some, so just a moment. That doesn't take very long, though. My phone's flying. Think of it as sound effects. Meditate to the sound. In fact, what I could do, this is kind of what I started the morning doing. And I think it took me 3 videos to actually feel like I might want a little bit of coffee. Interesting how it transpired. And to actually kind of get this happening. It's really 30 minutes into that 2-hour one. I didn't think I played that much. So I invite you. Oh, the viewer left. So I don't invite you. Just kidding. Is this in around when the coffee club was started? It's about an hour in almost. Not to the video, just something else I was just thinking of. People are going to be like, no, it's 20 minutes and you don't even know how to read the duration. No, and I understand they get a bit long sometimes, but you know what? Sometimes there's brief interruptions, or I get enjoying it so much. And honestly, sometimes time goes fast, and that's what this is about, right? This is about the passage of time, and when it feels like it's going really slow, and when it feels like it's going really fast, when we wish it would go faster, when we wish it would go slower. What are times in your life where you felt one or both of those? One thing that I feel like I want to be doing is a bit of narration. And even though there's nobody here watching now, for anybody who watches this afterwards or who watches it as it progresses and wants to come back and watch it afterwards as well. So I invite you, and I know this is kind of a different type of meditation. Again, I can't be the only one, but if I am, then it's what makes me unique, I guess, right? But I invite you into this environment for a short time with me here and to meditate as we talk about the passage of time, and welcome to a little bit of my day. So take in the environment that you see before you. And whether you have had a coffee today or not, or if you don't even drink coffee, think of your beverage of choice and take in the sounds. I kind of think even people who don't drink coffee might appreciate the sounds and the smells. The smell, I could be wrong, one or both, either the smells and the aroma that if you have especially a really good sniffer, or at least the sounds of the coffee maker. Maybe not that so much, but we all run the sink from time to time, so. That would be an awfully heavy pee. I was thinking, does that sound like peeing? As water sometimes can. And, most water is a big thing. And I don't do this very often, but it seems like the theme of today, which it's interesting. Everybody always goes on about mindfulness and, initial thought, especially for when you're a newbie or whatever, but kind of just in general, initial thought of that is, my mind's full enough. That's something I've thought of in the past. But then I've gotten to know a little bit more about mindfulness, and I still feel it. No, I'm just kidding. But it's like, or being in the present. And sometimes my mind goes to this, and I'm curious what you think of it. My mind goes to, but the present's always changing, so I can't settle into it. But perhaps another way of phrasing it is to, I didn't even start it yet, right? Is to be appreciative of the present and the things that you have. And if you, for whatever reason, don't feel like you have some things that you either deserve or just want to have in your life, and you you may find yourself potentially or not, curious, either way, jealous of this environment, of the sunny window, which actually looks brighter on the camera than it is in person, of the art. And I believe I showed that one or the one that went with it in the Linda video. And I haven't eaten much today, so I'm also going to, and I welcome you. There's things out there called mindful eating sometimes. I welcome you to eat something with me if you like. I know we may not know each other, but at the end of the day, we're both people, Just trying to exist through another day, right? It's kind of funny. 2 days in a row I've eaten on camera, but I'm trying to be, what's the word? Not discreet. I'm trying to, we all eat and we see people eat and we eat around people, most of us fairly often, or at least sometimes. I'm a little bit of the latter category these days, but, well, I mean, I live with somebody, and why does it keep trying to detect my voice? I'm not even touching the thing. That's bizarre. Where's the tablet? I don't know. I'd like to know, but I don't know. I almost thought, am I using it to make this video? Okay. So, in a moment here, I'm going to be starting the coffee maker. And I invite you, put that there, not there, to, again, like I say, grab a beverage of choice, or imagine, or whatever, not required. And listen to the sounds of the coffee maker. Sorry if it doesn't come through really loud on the thing, but probably as close as I can get. Well, it'd be that one time when it would leak for me. It hasn't leaked in a while, it's old. And it often leaks for the other person in the house. But not lately, that I don't think so. But it'd be that one time it would leak. I could maybe set it on the stove here. We're going to face this the same way. Or, yeah, in the way which is less clutter. That's our first. I'm thinking about a little bit about somebody whose video is going to see. Hopefully when it's playing, it'll stop doing that. I don't know why this device is set. Tell me to talk to Google or something. I don't know. I want people to be like, I actually wanted to listen to the coffee maker, but I never showed up. During the passage of time, so nobody's here at the moment, but for anybody who watches back afterwards, I know I wasn't gone super long, but, and again, I mean, I don't think I need to say this, but just in case somebody wants to be an idiot, remember kindness, true kindness. Don't just say, oh, I'll just say it's kind, whatever. Like, be kind, and be about more about you. Actually, is what I was going to suggest. What have you experienced in that moment? Because I don't know, maybe for a minute or two of it, there was somebody just turned in. Somebody was here. I will let the coffee. Okay. So what? This is like a virtual meditation type of thing. So right now I'm making coffee because once I actually start the guided meditation, maybe if you have, I don't know what to suggest. Somebody put, because see, if you have more than one device, you could put relaxation music on one and listen to me on the other. If you don't, then, so you don't. But I've tried to do that myself. And as far as like recording a video goes, it's not worked to do that. But since you're not recording the video on your end, it might work. So feel free to pause this if you're playing it in the playback. And we don't talk about areas or anything. Pause this and the coffee maker is probably almost done though. Well, it'll be running when you get back, and then you can start your music, or you can have them both play at the same time. I'm gonna shut up and let that occur. Just taking the sounds that you hear. Try not to be super loud, but sometimes there's beauty in winging it, honestly. Looks like a bit of that flower. Oh, what is that? Oh, geez. I'm doing this on a laptop, and we do live near a couple of busy businesses, you could say. And so, and it's kind of windy out. It's not the best to bring this outside, but I would consider doing it during the day, during the week, unless something out of the usual. I don't usually have a cell phone that I can live stream with, which is what I'm doing here. And it's interesting. Especially, I hate to say it, but I was actually slightly jealous of somebody else's lovely sounding morning. I didn't know what I saw in mine. I wasn't seeing all that much, really, as potentially, I know maybe recognizable, but oh well, maybe I'm celebrity. Rather do it for the music, maybe the healing, but still. Do that meditation guy. What? Well, maybe I'm becoming him. Last couple of sounds of the coffee maker, if there is any. Mostly milk. Putting a lot of effort into this. We'll see it pays off. Now, as pre-mentioned, we have an old coffee maker. Plus, I kind of put a lot of milk in there. I think there was already some in there from this morning too. But sometimes our coffee maker does not make it hot. Now I'm going to put this over here so you can just acclimatize, again, probably in the playback, nobody's here at the moment, to this environment. Because it needs to be plugged in. And this way I don't have to worry about carrying my coffee at the same time, although I don't know if I'm going to be carrying anything else. I don't know what I'm having for lunch. That thing, they're doing so well for business. And they better not be chintzy. I mean, it's good. It's healthy. I like it. I had it 2 times this month, I think, or at least once and then once last month. But I think it's $20, and that's exactly what I have. And then a bit of money, which I might need for busing and possibly buying a drink. And I don't mean to be all talk or be saying, "Oh, I'm doing this all the time," because I'm not really. But it hasn't transpired yet. The passage of time does not transpire. Not a bad coffee. So that is not a hazard. I'm going to put it, well, does anybody else ever find coffee mugs sometimes change the taste of your coffee? Shit. They make you drop nothing. This thing didn't break, but lovely master waste. I don't really want to deal with it right now. Oh, it did a little bit. And I don't see with the plastic wet. I like it. I want to get most of it in case I forget and the dog gets it. Anything in particular you like to put that in? Okay. That's about being in the present too. Like being in the present isn't always about, isn't always about Zen necessarily and stuff. More sugar about it when I get there. It can be kind of when mishaps happen. There's the lid. Well, in that case, no, that might be all right. It was behind me, that's why. And isn't that kind of ironic when you think about it? Yeah, some people have been nice. They on YouTube. I mean, that guy or something. I'm thinking of one in particular. He probably does about 3 or 4 videos a day, some short, occasionally long. And then, yeah, it's just the way it is. So I guess I want to kind of start the next part of this meditation, but I want to keep the image I selected. I want to just, that was pretty easy to do. I want to just kind of keep rolling as I am. I'm going to cover this just because then people aren't distracted and they might get more from it. And let's see what we do with this. And then I'll have a bit more to eat. I don't know what it'll be, unfortunately, but because I'm picky and don't have a lot of energy and the sun's came back out, but don't have a lot of money. Just the truth, people, just the truth. Don't think I need to do a sound check because I have the audio playing only for me. Again, you're welcome to pause this video and go find yourself some relaxing music. I guess you'd have to do it on a different device because you wouldn't be able to play both on the same device. So I'm sorry that I did not have a setup. I tried earlier, or skill level or crew, or whatever you want to call it, to give you that full experience. And if you want to just sit in quiet, you will hear my voice, which is unfamiliar to you, or possibly, or mostly. And so the quiet isn't completely eerie quiet. And I pull the headphones out and suddenly it says it can't play it. It's just, it doesn't play. This does play audio, but not record it the cell phone, but it doesn't play it out very loud. I know that because, like I say, we use it most nights, and I always have to put it in a speaker. I could go up to the bed, put it in a speaker, but the dog's up there. When I come up there, he's gonna want to visit with me, and then come downstairs. or he might be distracting. So, and it isn't messy down here, but I don't know. I'm kind of wondering, do I want to do that? I might be more comfortable. It's already 41 minutes in, and I might fall asleep in the bed. I kind of sort of feel like it's one thing to lead a meditation and possibly be laying in your bed, and it's another thing to listen to one and lay in your bed. And I just may find like my mind may tell me you're in bed, so you should be trying to relax, but I'm focused on doing the meditation. So I don't think that would work. So I'm trying to give the full on experience. Hopefully we can work with each other and make it lovely. That's the best I got for a screen cover right now. So I welcome you to settle in a comfortable position. As I speak about the things I think of, mine is maybe a performance piece. When I think of time travel, going back to the past is not necessarily a bad thing, because some things are good from the past, and other things can give us insight of what we might need to work on, and give practice and patience and acceptance and such too. But I want you to take a moment in a few minutes to think of a time in your past where you, this doesn't matter if I do this, where you have experienced joy and love and fun times. Something is inspiring me to say, perhaps on your patio or in your home with a person perhaps named Ashley, perhaps while shopping at a store of the same name. And somebody is here, and I do apologize again. I'm new to doing these, but I did. If you'd rather, I would totally be fine with you looking at the previous video, which I did have the audio working. Then I had a technical issue. Now I've got it working for me, but it wouldn't play out loud enough to be on here. I guess I could try it with the speaker, but I feel like the tablet did something weird, and I couldn't get it happening on the same device I'm recording with. So if you have any relaxation music or you don't mind silence, that's fine. And what I'm asking our viewers to do is go back, and I'm not going to get myself get distracted like that too often throughout this, because I realize actually that it is distracting for something like this more so than anything. So I apologize. But I want you to think of that time in your past. It can be one of the suggestions made, but honestly, anything. Maybe barbecue. Doesn't necessarily have to be something relaxing. It can be a time when you had some reflection, went to a fun show, felt included and involved and creative and seen? Did that make you feel good or not? If you're playing music of your own, I'd be curious to know what you're playing. And you can keep it playing and pause this video as you think about a moment from your past. If you find yourself thinking, oh, do I want this, or do I want to try for another one, or do I want this? I want you to remember, one, your comfort. Do what you're most comfortable doing, but don't try too hard. Go with maybe you're meant to think of the example that you thought of, and what was it? And maybe it may feel a little bit like you want to change what you picked. And you can certainly do that. You can certainly come back to this one about 45 minutes in at this point and pick a different experience. I will try to post these more often. I've got time. I need to heal. We all need to heal from something. So perhaps you'll find it more beneficial to think of something that wasn't fun, wasn't your favorite moment in the past, and sit with those feels. Thank you, Ray. Those feelings. Again, I'm new to leading these, and I'm tempted to do the same, but then I might not stay in the meditation well enough. I might start to, but perhaps if I think, and I kind of did, but perhaps if I think of a favorite memory, I would like to ask anybody who might view this to possibly say the age they were or approximate age they were with the memory that they thought of, or to suggest to me, I mean, I have a good memory. I sometimes remember things I wish I could forget and forget things I wish I could remember. Don't we all? But I would not say I have, there's this word again, idonic, whatever it's called, memory, where I can claim to remember vividly the details of every day in my life. And with strength and accuracy. But I mean, at the same time, how can we know for sure how accurate they are? But does it really matter? Sometimes. And would we really want to do that? But if you say, what were you doing at approximately the age of such and such, or what was a moment or a memory that you had then? Ooh. Interesting sound in the track that I'm listening to. And it's kind of inspired me. And I'm hesitant. But it's interesting because YouTube said, I don't know if I like that song in the long run, but I don't usually hear it. I don't usually have headphones on for it. YouTube often likes to say, is this video made for kids or not? And they don't have, and it's yes or no. Honestly, though, oftentimes I select no because I can't be 100% certain. with not a huge filter and not being used to being around kids very much, and having an adult, I mean, I guess mostly I do try, but I can, but and I have actually had a couple instances where there have been kind of mid-teenage year, ironically, but that have came in, and it's interesting to think that I I I, I could be influencing them in a positive and impactful way, not just adults. And I thought, I wonder if I should do a kid meditation. I might have to look into those a bit more, though. I mean, that's not necessarily past life, I don't know if I believe in, but it is kind of like um, your inner child type stuff, right? It's ironic this is happening on a Thursday. Just makes me think of something. But so what I might do is actually do that. I have a great idea, so stay tuned. Another one, yes.